The story of Steen Toettrup, yeah, that's, I would say the last 20 years when I've been involved in music is pretty much that from 91, when the first record was released on a Danish label called Coma Records, I moved to London for 10 years until 2001, released a lot of different records under different names. Also chill out, up-tempo, techno, house. And that was for 10 years in London, and then I moved back to Copenhagen, stayed there for 5 years, and realized that unfortunately I couldn't live that place any longer because it doesn't suit my personality at all. So that's why I moved to Ibiza 3 years ago now. And this suits me very well. For me, there was no doubt. In 91 also, a lot of things happened for me in 91. The first record was released, and I went to Frankfurt for the first time. I went to Ibiza for the first time. When I went here as a 21-year-old, I completely fell in love with the islands. At that time, I was a pretty wild boy, only up-tempo stuff. And then I realized what José Padilla was all about in Café Del Mar. And I realized there's more to this island than just parties or just chill out. You know, sometimes I consider a Greek island maybe a bit too much chill out but needs the parties, and sometimes you have the opposite. You only have the parties but not the chill out. So that's why Ibiza contains it all, and I realized that from the first time I was here. Then I just basically was wondering for 20 years how I could manage to move down here and make a living, you know, because obviously you can't just move somewhere and be happy. It costs money. It starts with 10 years in London, obviously building up a name as a producer and a writer on the different things. And I think music, unless you do a big top 5 hit where you get instant money, then I think club music and chill out is very much like a spiral shape. You know, you do a production here and you keep on hopefully doing good productions. They all earn a fair bit of money, but maybe not massive amounts, but within a few years you have a spiral shape, and then the income starts coming in, you know, on a regular basis. And that's basically what I've been doing since 91. And then in 2001 it all seemed possible for me to become professional. Then I just moved to Denmark because I thought I need to check that out, and no, that doesn't work for me, you know. So then I moved here instead. But I've been a free spirit since 2001 as a professional. So, and I'm never gonna move from here. This is the place for me, for sure. I produce, well, basically I will keep it to electronic, first of all. Or it's all electronic, but it's mainly chill out now I'm focusing on. But it's also going from techno to funky house to progressive. So it's all sorts of things that fits in with the 24-hour party cycle, basically, I think, you know. So it could also be deep house, because I love it all. I basically love this 24 hours, basically go to a sunset at 8 o'clock at night, getting into this whole recharge your batteries. 3 hours later, it slowly builds over to deep house, where you say, okay, maybe we could do another night going out. And then obviously also 3 o'clock in Cocoon, I like to do that stuff as well. So it depends a little bit on the mood, what I'm in, but I like to do all genres, because I think it's very, under different names, however. I think that's quite essential as well. But I think it's important to follow your heart a little bit. If you force yourself to constantly do chill out, you go into this tunnel, which becomes boring eventually. So it's important to get rid of certain energies by doing a techno track. So that's why I have different names for everything, you know. Every year you say, oh, this surely must be the best. This must be the best. But I think, no, I'm quite sure actually, without a doubt. Amnesia, official closing party, 2007. I've never tried anything like it. Now I get goosebumps just thinking about it, really. And thinking about going out, being part of the house since Coma Club in Denmark in '88, you know, been part of it for 20 years and then still get a high like 2007, it's unbelievable. The party continued till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And everybody was there. Amnesia was still full. So for me, it's a must every year now. It's to basically the Amnesia closing party, the official closing party, is by far the biggest party for me a year. And 2007 was then this step up, you know. Yes, in the future for sure, one more album. because I like the whole thing about doing an album was really, really interesting, especially the solo album. It took me 15, 16 years to get the courage to do a solo album. And now it's doing quite well, so that's a little bit of a, you know, confidence booster in a way. So I'm already started with one track for the new album, and then when it's finished, I don't know. I don't have any deadlines and stuff. It has to be good enough. So definitely another Steen Toettrup album, maybe in a year and a half or something like that. Up-tempo stuff, I'm doing a lot now with different people, because I think it's the genre which is back. I wasn't really a big fan of electro at all. So what's come back now is I love every style, even from the hard to the soft. I think it's very melodic at the moment, and that's given me a lot of energy to start producing up-tempo again. I've just finished off a track called La Musica, and under my sort of another name, which is a solo name, called Sus. And I think I might get that one signed to New State. Then I also have a track out this year called under the name Two Drops, called the cello track on Yoshitoshi, the Deep Dish Boys. So I will continue this, whatever this one brings, you know. But I have a lot of energy after I moved down here, so I can't see why I should stop doing things over, I don't know, 120 BPM, you know. So I'm definitely continue that as well.